Hey, how about you, everybody? Welcome in to the first edition of the Auburn Live Recruiting Call-In Show. I am Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor of Auburn Live on 3. I'm joined tonight by Mr. Cole Pinkston, our badass recruiting analyst at Auburn Live on 3. And we may or may not be joined by Mr. Jhead. That's to be determined. But we want to get right to it, man. We do a podcast every week. But we really wanted to make this about you guys and be able to get your calls in, get your questions in, and get as much knowledge out as we possibly can. Cole and I both at Auburn Live on 3. If you're not a member of that site, you should be. I think it's $8.33 a month, $100 for a whole year, which is just a little bit more than a gallon of gas these days.
Yep. I've been
Cole,
on vacation. Been on vacation this week. Let me tell you, that would be the cheapest thing I would have bought this week.
Did you go down to Mickey's World?
Yes, that's where I am right now.
Oh shit! Really?
Yep.
Man.
Family vacay. Got that going on. Got the palm trees in the background here, so we're ready to roll, man.
Dedication, folks. Calling from Disney World.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's see. We've got our first question, but I'm gonna tell you now. I really want to hear some calls. I want to hear some of those corner folks. I want to hear the voices. You know.
Oh, we got it. We got to put some voices with some names here, man. Tonight.
We really do have a great community over at Auburn Live on 3. The message boards are awesome, man. We got great people. There's only a couple of dingleberries, and they're tolerable. You know, they're tolerable. And the great thing about the corner is you can personally ban anyone that you don't like. You don't want to read, you just hit ignore. We have that feature.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, all right, Cole. Let's go to Christopher Hester. OCH. I have a question realistically. Who do y'all think commits next? Good question. And with the running back from California seeming to commit in August, is our offer to him a legitimate offer? Is he a take? I'll take the first one. I'll take the second part of that, Cole.
All right.
Having spoken to him here recently, Roderick Robinson II from San Diego, California, came for an unofficial visit 2 weeks ago, I believe. He has already set up an official visit to come back the first weekend in June. So there is absolute legit interest there. And absolutely, he is a take.
Yeah.
Auburn wants 2 running backs. Jeremiah Cobb, obviously right up the road, Montgomery, certainly a top guy. And I would think this guy, I would put both of those guys as my top 2. Cole, what about you?
Yeah, I think those are the top 2 guys on the board right now. I think they wanted to get Robinson in for a visit and see how it went. You know, him being from California and all that, but he does have connections to Alabama, to the state. I think his dad played at Pinkston Valley High School, I think is what it was.
Right. Yep.
So, okay. So you got the connection. You want to get him on campus. You got him to come. And, by all accounts, that went really well. And went from a top 9 that didn't have Auburn in it to a top 6 that had Auburn in it. So They have absolutely made some headway there and think they're in the game. So, yeah, I think he's That's a good one.
The first part of that question, Cole. Who commits next? Who you got on that?
I think I have a pretty good answer on that one. I'm going to go with quarterback Brock Glenn, Auburn Brock Glenn from Memphis, Tennessee. Just talked to him not too long ago. He said, I'm going to take a couple more visits. Got those set up. Really want to try to have a decision by June. And I think Auburn is probably the leader there. That's just my guess on that.
Brock Glenn, you said he's coming back in June?
I think he's coming back maybe in May and wants to have a decision in June. The date for the OV is not set yet. But he definitely wants to have the decision before his senior year. And he told me June was sort of the target month there.
I think June's going to be really big for Auburn. I really do. There's a lot of visits already being set up. As we said, Roderick Robinson's coming in that month. And then June the 10th through the 12th is going to be big. A couple of edge guys are coming in that weekend. And let's don't forget Raquez McElderry.
Mac.
McElderry's coming May the 27th. So he's getting it started pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And O'Connor Stroh, the big offensive lineman from Texas, is coming in next weekend, if I'm not mistaken, May the 20th.
Yeah.
I believe that's right. As far as my pick for next commitment, Damn, that's tough, man. You caught me off
It is.
guard. You caught me off
It
guard,
is.
Chris. Excuse me. I was thinking, man, this is when I need Jhead,
Yeah, he could pop that one off pretty good, probably.
I need some names. Let me look over that, Chris. Let me think on that for a minute. I'm gonna come back to you. Next come in. I'm gonna come back to you. Next come in.
Man, we got some comments rolling in here, man.
I think folks think it's gonna be. I think Auburn fans hope it's gonna be. Switching gears here, Julian Phillips.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, but is it?
Watch
we don't
out.
know. We don't know. Tomorrow,
That's
2
an
p.m.
interesting
Central
one.
Time. Man, it's tough, Cole.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. I wrote again about it this afternoon. I haven't gotten tipped either way. I don't know how to feel. I put in a prediction for him back when he came for an official visit to Auburn. Put in a prediction for him there. I'm going to ride that out. I think I wrote today on the corner that I don't have much confidence in that pick, but I haven't heard anything that would make me want to change it. So if I'm going to be wrong, that's cool. I'll be wrong with an Auburn prediction, but curious to see what happens tomorrow if Bruce Pearl and these guys can close the deal on him. I know Tennessee's throwing a lot at him. I know the NIL package that Tennessee put together is monstrous. I also know that Auburn can't and will not match it. And don't get me wrong, they've got their package too, but it's nowhere near Tennessee, and they're not going to.
Do you think Tennessee has more minutes to offer than Auburn does for an incoming freshman?
Maybe.
Is that playing into it at all?
But maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way that Bruce Pearl plays his bench, he plays 10
games. Yeah, that's true.
Game. That's true. It's he started Zep Jasper last year, and within 3 minutes he was coming out. He might have been the starter, but he played probably the fewest minutes of all those guys. So I think it's going to come down to do you want to go make a lot of money in 1 year at Tennessee, or do you want to come play for Bruce Pearl and it's more of a long-term investment?
Yeah.
You want to make 2 this year, or do you want to make 40 next year?
Right.
So, or 27, whatever that could be. And he definitely has the talent, but I think it would be the crowning jewel of this class in that he is the position of need that Auburn has left in this class. And man, you talk about a grand slam for this staff if they were able to get Julian Phillips with U1, Trey Orr, Chance Westry coming in, Trey Donaldson will be huge. Tyler Justice. I was expecting you to call me, dude.
He better get on the phones, man.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not going to answer Tyler Justice's comment. I'm not going to answer him, Zach. Yep, there you go. Tyler, you better. You're calling, son. All right. If we get any 5 stars, Cole, this is from Go War Eagle. If we get any 5 stars, we being Auburn, who do you all think it will be?
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and assume you're talking about football.
There you go.
I would think right now your best shot. There's 2 guys who I think Auburn has a legitimate chance with that are 5 stars.
Okay.
One of them is Quay Russaw, who is an edge from Montgomery, Carver High School in Montgomery. He's teammates with James Smith, another 5-star. I don't think James Smith is going to Auburn personally. Of course, they talk about wanting to play together, so that's going to be interesting. But Quay Russaw, and then Auburn had Alabama commit Jaleel Hurley, 5-star from Florence, Alabama, corner, safety, defensive back. They had him on campus not too long ago, and had him on campus for multiple football games last fall. I think he's one to watch.
Those are my 2 as well. I think Jaleel Hurley, Auburn has a damn good shot with him.
Yep.
And Quay Russaw, I think of the 2 you mentioned, James Smith being the other one. Alabama's got some other guys, some really highly rated recruits in this class. I think Auburn's going to do really well in Georgia and Alabama. I think they're going to go outside the region as well. But I do think the best shot right now Auburn has of signing 5-star is with Jaleel Hurley, the cornerback from North Alabama. I think Florence.
Yeah.
And then Quay Russaw up at Carver and Montgomery.
Yep.
So, I think I would be more surprised if Auburn doesn't sign a 5-star in this class than if they do. All things stay the same. Auburn has a better than expected season, which I think they're going to.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
talked about it before on our podcast. But win the games you're supposed to, win a couple you're not. Make some noise. Make some noise. That's kind of what we've been preaching, and I feel like Auburn has set itself in a position to do so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have no reason to believe they can't. They were in every game last year, besides maybe the Georgia
Sure.
game. So that's where we're operating from on that thought. There's a chance that they could be in all those games and finish some of them this time, and that would be huge for recruiting.
Let me run down the comments real quick in our chat on YouTube. Tyler Justice, I've already taken it up with you. I'm beefing with you. Dane Wickstrom wants to know any transfers that have emerged to watch for. Kind of right now in a holding pattern. I mean, we've got some names that we've been tracking. As I wrote on Tuesday, the progress towards degree rule, the 40, 60, 80 rule to transfer into Auburn has limited Auburn. And I mean, there's 4 or 5 guys that Auburn was at least going to get to visit, and it's not even worth it anymore because they can't transfer into Auburn. I'm going to go in. I've learned even more since I wrote that story. I'm going to go into even more detail tomorrow on the Shrivel Pod. And it's really interesting. I got a lot of good information today on that. And I hope everyone tunes in because I don't want to spend this whole show doing that. I want to get more questions. But tomorrow on the Shrivel Pod, tomorrow afternoon, it'll be out on Auburn Live on 3. Tune in because I'm going to go into a lot more detail on how specifically it affects Auburn and how Auburn's lack of sports management, recreation, those type of degrees that a lot of these student athletes across the country are pursuing, or at least have declared for, how that affects Auburn and with the transfer. So a lot of good stuff coming up on those transfers, Dane. Jhead is our transfer portal guru.
Expert.
And tomorrow, Dane, I want you to listen to the Shrivel Pod because Jhead will go over it. I'm going to throw some names. Josh Landry, of course, the defensive lineman from Baylor. Haven't heard anything that will make me believe he's no longer an option. Cole, jump in. Odua Isabor, of course, from Edge. He visited Cal recently. Cal, Duke, and Auburn. Not sure if he's going to be scared away by Auburn's returning 2 veterans with Dylan Brooks as well.
Yeah, Jeffrey, on that too, with a guy like Dylan Brooks, who was a really big recruit, waiting in the wings to play. You got Derek Hall, who's getting ready to have a breakout season. Eku Leota, who had 7 sacks. Even though you don't have a lot of depth, it's not going to be the greatest situation for a guy with 1 year of eligibility or 2 years. Just if that makes you feel better, there's guys that don't feel great about the way that the depth is at edge right now for Auburn. They don't think they have that great of a shot with who they've got. In other words, they think they're pretty good. So,
right.
And again,
and Auburn's pitch to these guys is, listen, we've got 400, 500 snaps available from last year. That, T.D. Moultrie no longer here to take those snaps. So we need somebody to play 400 snaps for us this year. And for a guy who wants to play in the SEC and the SEC West like Isabor, it should be a perfect opportunity for him. But I know there's been some concern, some hesitancy with him and his father about not having an ideal situation to come in and start. And I think that's really what's held off Isabor from committing to Auburn. I think that's kind of that's the biggest concern. A couple of more names, Dane. Marvin Grant. Did he ever commit to USC?
I don't think he has yet, but probably trending that way. Yeah.
Craig McDonald from Iowa State. I know Auburn wants another defensive back.
Yeah.
Matt Landers. I'm doing some checking on him. He could be one of the casualties as well, added to the casualty list as far as not being able to transfer in. He is a wide receiver from Toledo. I think he signed with Georgia out of high school, transferred to Toledo. Pretty badass kid, pretty badass wide receiver, and he is transferring out of Toledo. So that's about it right now. Jhead is, let's see, Wesley Brooks. Jhead has baby duty tonight. He is on baby patrol. I hope he's listening, man. We're missing him. And
I know how it goes, Jhead. Yeah. I feel you.
We're going to cut this off at 8 because I got kids, son. I got kids too. So and we all do. But Jhead will be on here tomorrow on the Shrivel Pod. Wesley, so check us out tomorrow. Let me run out through here. We got Go War Eagle. Rod's mama went in the same high school as Bo Jackson as well. Oh, there you go. Saxon Danford. Appreciate that, man. A little
Very good.
intel on Roderick. Rod's
Very,
mom went
very
to the
good.
same high school as Bo Jackson, which is McAdory, home of the
McAdory.
former head coach David Powell, who is my third cousin removed, and who was the coach of Malcolm Askew.
Well, my goodness. There's
Malcolm,
just connections everywhere.
And I grew up, 15 miles from there and went to Minor. So,
Wow.
well, Crocky Poo.
Croc.
My name is Jeff Crocky Poo. Oh, man. Cleveland Brown. Missing you. Who would you believe would be the next Langston Hughes player to commit to Auburn? Good question, Cleveland.
I got that one.
Right.
That would be I think that would be defensive lineman Joshua Horton. He's a 3-star guy. He's about 6'5", 275. He is, believe it or not, even though he is rated the lower guy in person, and I've seen them in person a lot. They're always together, by the way, the 4 at Langston Hughes. He is probably the most well put together guy as far as build. He's got the broad shoulders, no body fat. I mean, this guy he's got a lot of attention for a reason. And he's not just one of the Langston Hughes guys. He's one that they really want on the defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've said for a while that he's trending to Auburn. I think that's still true. And I think he's the next one from Langston Hughes to join Terrence Love, 4-star safety.
To join Terrence Love, Jelani Thurman's right there behind them. Bo Hughley's coming in. And, of course, they got Prentice Nolan coming up. Now, do they have a junior wide receiver?
Yeah, Robert Lockhart.
Lockhart, yeah.
He's committed to Jackson State.
I thought he committed.
Yeah,
and he's a 23 guy too, right?
He is, and he's somebody that came on a visit with the teammates and somebody they gave a look to, and probably not done looking at him. I think they're still evaluating him. He's a smaller guy, a lot of speed though, so they're still looking at him and trying to figure out what they want to do there, I think.
Thomas Jones. Good question here. Who is in your opinion, Cole, this is a good question for you, the best football transfer so far for Auburn? And we got Zach Calzada, we got Robbie Ashford, we got Jason Jones, DJ James.
Yeah. You know what, man? At one time I would have said Zach Calzada. He's not very fresh on my mind right now just because he didn't go through spring. So we don't, he's going to have maybe a little bit of a learning curve when he gets back into action this fall. I think it's DJ James. After watching him in the 8A game and just going back and watching his clips from Oregon, he was really good in coverage. I mean, he was almost locked down in some of those games. Even in the Ohio State game, and Ohio State just sent 2 or 3, 4 receivers in the NFL?
7 or 8.
Something like that, like 2 in a row in the first round.
7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah, they claimed a few more, but no, I mean, he was in coverage against those guys like what's the guy that went to the Saints? Can't think of his name right now. Chris Olave.
Yeah, that dude.
Some of those guys. Anyway, he was great in coverage against those guys. He looked really good in the 8A game. I've been told he's one of the fastest guys on the team, going through workouts and things. So that's my pick.
I'm going to go Calzada.
I like it. I could argue for that too, for sure.
And but in spring we heard a lot about Robbie Ashford, but I'm going to defer to Calzada right now. I really think the hope is he comes into the fall camp healthy, and I think Auburn has the best chance of winning with him under center. That's why I'm going with Calzada, and I might be wrong, dude. I'm no quarterback whisperer, but I might holler a few times.
Yeah, right.
So
I'll say too about Jason Jones too, Jeffrey. At one time, I would have said he was the least. But just seeing him in person and looking at how he's sort of reshaped his body, he might be pretty good on the inside there.
Big old dude, ain't he?
Gosh, he is, man. He is ridiculous looking.
Big old dude.
Yeah, I'm throwing Jason Jones in there too, but I'll have James just above him.
We can't forget either. DeZalen Worsham.
Yeah, DeZalen Worsham.
So I know there's a lot of concern at wide receiver, and Lord knows it's justified after what I saw in the spring, just because it's so thin and so. And that's why don't forget about these high school kids coming in here in about 2 more weeks. Don't forget about Camden Brown.
Yeah. Amari Kelly.
Yep. These kids are going to be thrown into the fire, man. And I really like I mean, I like Amari Kelly too, but damn, I
absolutely.
love Camden Brown. I really like him. I think I like him more off the field, and so I'm pulling for him. But man, this kid can ball.
I was
He's
really
good.
surprised when he came to the camp last year in the summer and earned the MVP honors and all that. And they said, they kind of slow played him a little bit, but I'm really glad they ramped that one back up because he can play, man. He was about to go to Pittsburgh, and you know how well they do with receivers over there. So, yeah,
wanted to commit when he left camp.
Yeah, he was in. He was ready to go. When they got back with it, he was in, man.
Yeah, which was a great job by that staff. I think they went on some other guys that they might have had higher on the board and had kept him interested, kept him wanting. And when the time came, they made the move and were able to get him. Oh, Hokeson's jumped in here. Will Auburn land a top 10 class? I don't know. Text me and I'll tell you. Hey, okay. No, top 10? I don't know. I don't know.
Hoke putting us on
the 15? Spot. Top 15? Sure. I think that's safe to say. I really do, man. I think Auburn's going to have a great class.
I'll put it this way. There's absolutely a path to a top 10 class.
Sure, absolutely.
With guys that are still uncommitted and guys that, are visiting and all that, there's a chance. I'm not going to rule that out at all. But, got a long way to go too. So
sure.
15. I would say top 15 at this point.
I think it's going to depend on a couple of things. I think it's going to depend on whether or not Auburn makes some noise. Like we want.
Sure.
We
can
in the fall. I think it's going to. I mean, if you're talking 6-6, no.
No, that's not going to move the needle.
8-4 with a win. Over a big SEC West opponent, an upset win. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to show kids that they're 1 year closer.
Yep.
And you're bringing this back, and you're getting these guys, and you've got already some studs committed, and so I think top 10 depending on the season. I think top 15 if you just I'm trying to think what would be the worst case, with a 7-5 season. Man,
I mean, I guess it depends on who you lose to, right?
And how you lose and how you look.
You have to win the ones you're supposed to win, like you always say. That's number one. And I mean, just think of some of those games last year if they'd have pulled those off. And I don't know if it would have had as big of a – I think last year it wouldn't have affected as much with the recruiting class as it would this coming year. It would affect the recruiting class a lot more this coming year. Just because everything that they've been pitching to guys, everything that they've been laying out the whole vision, they can go, okay, well, there's some proof there. I can believe what he's saying if he's making it work,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think perception is going to be big. I think winning is going to be big. I think getting some guys on board early is going to be big. But I think everything's lining up to Auburn potentially having a top 10 class. I really believe that would be speed. I'm not just throwing shit against fan here.
Right.
I think it's legit possibility. I think top 15, if depending on what other schools are doing, right? I mean, Texas A&M and Tennessee and all these schools that typically aren't, busting through the top 5. I mean, it kind of depends on NIL. How involved are other schools going to be there? How's it going to go? So it's tough to say, but I think I'll be surprised if Auburn's not in the top 15 as long as they don't, shit the bed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Ryan Von Weil. Carmelo English. Good question, man.
Yeah.
Carmelo English, right down the road, 4-star wide receiver. Tell you what, I'd be hard-pressed to say Auburn's not the leader for him right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those if today were signing day things, we'd have to go with Auburn, right? At this point.
I would, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's announcing soon, right?
Yeah, well,
August.
Did he ever drop his commitment date? He said he was going to when
he announced that he was going to announce, but he never announced
when he was going to announce his commitment. Yeah. I don't know when his commitment date is, but the sooner the better for Auburn is what I would think.
Yes.
Right. If it drags on, that means that to me, that would say that Alabama's saying, hey, hold on a minute. Let's not do that so fast. And that's not what you want if you're Auburn, obviously. That just makes it a whole lot harder. But I will say Auburn's probably in a really good position even if that were to happen right now too. because Ike Hilliard and English have such a great relationship, and English was really high on Auburn anyway. It was not like Auburn just entered the picture. They've been there for a while. So
I think Ike Hilliard's huge. I think close to home is huge. I think the need at wide receiver is huge. I would be surprised at this point if Carmelo English is at least not leaning towards Auburn. I'd be surprised at this point if he doesn't commit to Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
If
I give
all things stay the same.
I'll give David Whitlow a shout too, Jeffrey. He's the assistant receiver coach to Ike Hilliard at Auburn.
Hey, yeah.
Today, right before we got on the live stream here, DeQuavius Sorey, who was a 4-star receiver, was committed to Georgia at one time. He's the younger brother of Xavier Sorey, who is at Georgia right now. He specifically, Hayes Fawcett from On 3 specifically put a quote. He said, David Whitlow, got a great relationship with him. Been talking to him a lot. That's a big reason why Auburn made the cut. So give him a shout too. That might be a good little tandem like Bernardi and Friend are right now.
Oh, yeah. Anthony Lovelady, how about you, big dog? Funny story about Anthony Lovelady there, Cole. Anthony Lovelady is responsible for my head being shaved.
Is that right? How about that?
It's a true story. We were refereeing intramurals, and we were going out and probably had a drink or two. Well, I know I had to, man. I had, and I knew it was thin, but he was like, "Look, dude, it's time, man. Go get the clip." And so I shaved it, and I have shaved it ever since. So big how about you, the Lovelady? Big how about you?
So Anthony, what you're saying is Anthony Lovelady is a really good friend. Is what you're saying.
He was there for me when I needed him most. Yeah. He's the one to tell you got a booger in your nose. So
yeah,
letting you go talk to a girl with a bat in the cave.
Right, you got company. Right.
Hey, Edge, man, that's right up your alley, Cole. Let's see. Old Saxon Danford wants to know who the top 5 edges.
Yeah, I got that. I have all the boards pulled up here just in case somebody asks me like a top 5 like that. Obviously, Quay Russaw, like we talked about earlier. Yeah. I would say Ruben Bain is in there.
Me too.
Is he from Miami Central? Okay, mm-hmm. Yeah, Miami Central.
Brother is at Miami, but brother also played for Rock Bellantoni at Florida A&M.
Yes. Yeah. No, Florida Atlantic.
There you go. What was that?
So we got our first caller. If y'all want to take it real quick,
stop the presses, man.
Yeah, let's get to that.
256. You're live.
Oh.
What's up, 256?
256.
Oh, that's a Woodland number. Maybe I answered the wrong way. How about you? I might be Brooks in there calling. Man, it was a prank. A prank. All right, let's go back, Cole. You've got Quay Russaw, Ruben Bain, both of those guys.
Can y'all not hear him?
Oh, no.
No, we couldn't hear him.
Okay, hang on. Let me make sure 1 second. Let's see.
The voice you're hearing in the background is that of the producer, Zach McGinnell, also known as Zach McInnell.
Mac. Oh, Mac.
Brooks, go ahead and talk.
Okay, you guys got me now?
Hey.
What's up, Brooks?
There he is.
Good stuff. Hey, guys. First off, huge fan. Love the Jeffries, you call it the frickin' Shrivel Pod. One of the highlights. But quick question. I guess this is more so for both Jeffrey, you and Cole. But Cole, I love that article you put out. I guess it was either today or yesterday about the flips. And I guess specifically my questions about Hurley. Because I'm a North Alabama guy originally, so I kind of, naturally am drawn to curiosity of these guys. Is the potential of his flip, is that just a genuine interest in us, or is there a little bit of is Bama backing off, or just kind of curious into a little more extent of what that's looking like? And I'll hang up and listen to you guys. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, Brooks, you popped the cherry, big dog.
Yeah. Yeah, you want that one, Jaylee, or me?
I feel good about this. I talked to Hurley when he came to Auburn, and I will say this, man. He gave me every indication that he was going to flip. He was coming back that next week. He was going to flip. It wasn't, I know Alabama was saying, Alabama's not showing him a lot of love, and Auburn's showing him a lot of love. Dude, Jaleel Hurley's been high on Auburn since
Yes. Yeah.
He was knee high. So,
which we have been reporting for a while because we kept seeing him at Auburn games going, okay, well, I mean, there's definitely something there, definitely something there.
I think his plan was to flip his commitment to Auburn. I think Alabama got wind of it and stepped in and put a big halt to it, which they're very good at doing. Which is, and when I talked to him, he didn't want me to say anything, and I gave him my word. Cole, I don't even think I told you.
No,
or Jhead.
Yeah.
I didn't until it was known to me that he was no longer going to do it, and so.
Which, by the way, answers his question: did Alabama back off? No,
absolutely,
and they're not going to back off. They think he's one of the top corners in the country, and they would give him a 5-star rating themselves, I think. So this would be a monumental flip if Auburn were to pull it off, and even if they did pull it off the weekend that he visited, like maybe was planned. It's going down to the wire, guys. This one's going to December when he signs. So buckle up. It's going to be a wild one.
And the reason, Brooks, I tell you what, man, if I were doing a mock class, I would have him in it. I would have him in it. And it's because that I really feel like that's where his heart is, man. I really feel like Auburn really wants to go. And it's tough for him. And he is absolutely a guy that if Auburn makes some noise this fall, count him in. If Auburn comes out 6-6, 7 wins, 7-5, whatever, it's going to be tough because look who you're going against. You make some noise this fall, and I'm not guaranteeing you this. I'm guaranteeing you that I would have him in my mock class.
Yeah.
Probably really Zach Etheridge, those guys, Jeff Schmedding, Brian Harsin is very active in this kid's recruitment, and the one thing that the kid told me was that he loves the discipline Brian Harsin instills in his team. That was one of the things when I went, wow, like it's isn't like, oh, I love Auburn, I grew up Auburn. No, man, he loves Brian Harsin and the discipline he has instilled in the team or instills in the team. He really likes that kind of coaching. Of course, no, Nick Saban's the same way.
Well, Jeffrey, that's what me and Jhead were going back and forth about on a podcast a couple weeks ago was now you've got somebody at Auburn with the same mentality as Nick Saban. I mean, he's got the same strategy. He's got the same sort of process, the way he goes about things and discipline and all that. And you match that with Auburn and you might get different results, right? Because, I don't think the last coach was quite that way. He had his way of doing things, but you can tell Harsin's a disciplinarian and he's going to do things in a business-like sense. So it'll be interesting to see how that matches with Auburn and how they recruit with that. And Jaleel Hurley could be one of the first big ones that could be into that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe Robert Woodyard was that way too. He was attracted to the way Nick Saban was and then flipped to Auburn at the end there.
I'm going to run down a couple of these. Tyler Justice, I'm still pissed.
Should we get callers to say their username too?
For Saxon, Quay Russo, Ruben Bain. I'm sorry.
I said, should we get callers to say their username too?
I meant to ask Brooks. Brooks, get on the chat, dude, and tell us your username at Auburn Live. If you are a member. If you're not, then I need to talk to you after the show.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Meet me outside. Real quick, I'm going to hit. James Butler said, what about the guy from Gardendale, Kelby Collins?
Yeah.
Auburn had a shot. He came out with the top 5, did not include Auburn. Before we move on, Cole, let's knock out the other 3 edge guys. I would say, you said Ruben Bain, Quay Russo.
Would you put Keldrick Falk in that?
Keldrick Falk.
What about TJ Parker? Is he D-line?
Yeah, he's more of a Kobe Wooden guy.
Yeah, I think so. How about Hunter Clegg from Utah? Just put Auburn in his top group.
Yeah.
And Rock Bellantoni visited him as well.
And there is the Chan, Shard and
David Bradley.
That's what I said. That dude. I mean, these are. I think he's from Missouri. You got the Clegg from Utah. Auburn's definitely, kicking the tires on these guys. Whether I don't expect any of those guys to be in this class. I think when it comes down to it, Ruben Bain, Russo, Keldrick Falk, TJ Parker, those guys are going to be more realistic option. Isaiah Nixon, I think you mentioned, isn't.
Yes. Isaiah Nixon is another one from Florida. He's committed to UCF right now, but yeah, he's definitely another one. Maybe Wilkie Denod is another one, a 4-star
Yeah.
from Florida who is planning to visit very soon.
We got another caller.
All right,
All right.
man.
Let's go.
256. You were live.
$256. How about you, big dog?
Yeah, couldn't hear him, Zach.
He hasn't told yet.
Hey,
Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Who am I listening to?
just wanting to know who y'all think the starting quarterback will be for Auburn this next year.
Who is this?
This is Go War Eagle.
Go War Eagle. What's up, Go War Eagle? Where are you from, big
Oh,
dog?
yeah.
North Alabama.
Okay.
Very nice.
You up there near Ider?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Otter. Yeah. Oh, Otter.
Fort Payne?
No, I'm near Huntsville.
Oh, okay. You city folk.
To answer your question, man, I'm gonna go Zach Calzada, and I really
too.
don't think it's close. That's where I stand on it, and I could be wrong, but that's where I'm at as of today.
I said it earlier. I think that's the hope. I hope he's healthy, and because I think he gives Auburn the best chance to win. TJ Finley, I think will be perfect. I mean, he's a great backup, right?
Yeah, I think he is.
If you need him to come in and finish the game or something like that, but I think Zach Calzada is your best chance to win.
Yep, I think he's the guy.
Hey, Go War Eagle. Appreciate you, big dog, man. I really appreciate it. Hey,
thank you. Love you.
yeah, buddy. Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
I'm going back over any notes. Looking at
just got a text from Jhead. Jeffrey, he's not going to make it tonight. He will be here next time, though.
Okay, cool. Hey, and by the way, everybody listening, man, we're going to start this show from now on next week. It's going to be Tuesday night at 6:30, so that we'll have a Tuesday night 6:30 call-in show. Then we're going to have the Shrivel Pod, the freaking Shrivel Pod, Brooks, on Thursday afternoon. So we'll have beginning of the week, end of the week entertainment. Looking back over my edge list, a couple more names we didn't mention: Jamarius Brown, Ashley Williams.
Yeah, Ashley Williams. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, there's a lot of edge targets, man.
Yeah. They're after them, and it's a great class to get them because you're losing everything. You got Dylan Brooks coming back next year. That's it, dude. That's it. Load up. Isaiah Nixon. Damon Wilson is another guy.
Oh, yeah. Man,
Damon Wilson, which I haven't really heard much of him, but I know that he's on the board. So let's see. Appreciate you, Saxon. Man, I think you've had a couple of how about yous, hadn't you, big dog?
Yeah.
The guy from Gardendale, James, we talked about him. Tyler Justice, get off my chat. Stereotypical Auburn fan. Do you think we have a good chance to get – I do. Stereotypical Auburn fan says, do we think we have a good chance to get 2023 shooting guard Wesley Yates? I do, man. Wes Flanagan's all over that kid. Bruce Pearl loves that kid. Got him in on a visit already. Going to try to get him back on a visit as a senior. He came in as a junior. And somebody asked me on the corner not too long ago, can't remember who it was, but it's like, you know, in basketball, you get 5 official visits as a junior and then 5 official visits as a senior. That's not true in football. You can't take official visits till the summer before your senior year in football. But in basketball, you get 10. And Wesley took 1 as a junior, so he can actually come back as a senior. Now, when that senior year begins is the first day he goes to class. So the first day he goes to class as a senior is the first day he can start taking visits as a senior. So Bay Fall, he's another big-time dude. I wrote about him not too long ago. A.U. Barner, 99, asked about him. You know, he's like the Yuan Traore of the 2023 class, and Auburn has gotten into the mix with him early, man. He will visit, as well as his teammate and roommate. They're both from Senegal. Sorry about that, A.U. Barner. You probably know who I'm talking about. I wrote about both of them not too long ago, but I think they're visiting in June. So keep an eye on Bay Fall, and gosh, I can't believe that. I can't think of his name, and I don't have. A.U. Barter 99, you know who I'm talking about. Look it up and send it to me on the chat. Thomas Jones, best or most important transfer this fall.
Caller 334, you're live.
Say that again, Zach.
Oh, caller 334 is live.
What's up, 334?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How about you, big dog?
I know that voice. I know that one.
You look great, man. I know the camera adds a couple 100 pounds.
Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it.
Who is it, Cole? The suspense is killing me.
Yeah, his name's. You want me to give your name, dude?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
It's my buddy AJ. We played football together back in the day.
AJ.
Yep, he actually works. You work at Auburn now, right, man?
I do. Yeah, I still do security with the stadium. There every single home game.
Oh shit!
No doubt.
I bet you get some good stories, don't you?
I like to meet Cole down on the field sometimes when he's working the talent, trying to get.
AJ works that student section, don't you?
Man, I try my hardest not to work the students.
I hear you.
Yeah, man.
Well, what's up, AJ? What you got?
We got good fans for the most part. I've never really had that many problems.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, do you have a question, man, or what?
Yeah, the last thing I had heard, I know we were having a few problems in the coaching department. We'd lost some people. I was wondering who we've replaced them with, what we're looking at.
Oh,
good question. Yeah.
I tell you what, upgrades in recruiting, as far as I'm concerned, Cole. You go ahead, but
yeah. Well, you had Jeff Schmedding and Eric Keesaw, who got promoted to coordinators. They were position coaches last year, receiver coach and linebacker coach. They're guys that have been with Harsin for a long time. They got promoted, probably the way he wanted it in the first place, if I had to guess. And you replaced the positions, linebacker and receiver, with Ike Hilliard, who is a former All-Pro receiver from the Buccaneers, played for the Florida Gators and everything like that. Not sure if he's going to be an elite recruiter, but right now it looks like he's doing a really good job bringing guys on campus and doing that. So that's going to be an interesting replacement in the recruiting department. And then you've got the linebacker coach, Christian Robinson, who, man, he's made an impression already. I mean, his list of linebacker targets is as good as anybody's list of linebacker targets in the country, and he's got a real shot with a bunch of them. So, again, we'll say I think Auburn has a good linebacker class, and I think a lot of that has to do with Christian Robinson, who just took over not too long ago as the linebacker coach. And then you got Rock Bellantoni at edge, and we just named all the edge targets, and he's a big reason for that. He has been behind the scenes a little bit before then, so he's already been talking to guys, and him moving up, that was a good move, for recognition from recruits, and I think he's doing a great job too. So, yeah, good question, AJ.
And Rock was his references in getting that job started with Derek Hall. Some of the guys on the team, they loved Rock Bellantoni last year as an analyst, an edge analyst with Burt Watts. I believe that's what he was. And they were big advocates for Rock getting that job. So in my opinion, I've seen a big uptick in recruiting at all these new coaches. Jimmy Brumbaugh, man, the job he's done.
Jimmy Brumbaugh. Totally forgot to mention him.
Getting back in the picture there with Tamarian Parker. I mean, this cat, man, I think my stupid little Roomba has started. Hey, turn that on. Trying to do a show over here. Come here, baby. Oh, all right. All right, what we got, Zach? Oh, my God. Y'all, this is what I got to deal with.
Oh, my goodness.
It wasn't a zombie. It was freaking T-Rex, man.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Lord have mercy. Hey, baby, can you come over here and entertain Brooks while I do my show? Lord have mercy.
All right. Caller 270, you're live.
How about you, 270?
How's it going, guys? This is Chad Eaton from Glasgow, Kentucky.
Hey.
Dang.
Okay.
Did you say Chad Eaton?
Chad
Yes,
Eaton,
sir.
yeah.
Dude, didn't you used to I know of Chad Eaton, don't I?
You got a username, right?
Yeah.
Chadwick.
I could, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Fire it up, man.
What's up, Chadwick?
Good. I just wanted to see who the best impression you all think is with all the new assistant coaches, whether it's Ike Hilliard or if it's Christian Robinson, whoever it is. Who do y'all think's made the best impression overall?
Man, well, hey, let me ask you this, Jhead. Just overall, because I'm gonna
just
tell you,
overall
man,
as far as with the recruits and as far as like who you got now on the roster, who you think just probably made the biggest impact?
well, we kind of just hit on it a little bit. I think of the new guys, I think Ike Hilliard would probably be at the bottom, only because he's never recruited before. This is all new to him. He had been recruited, but he had never recruited for coming from the NFL. But man, we talked about Jimmy Brumbaugh with Tamari Parker, with all those defensive linemen that we talked to. Of course, Christian Robinson. Christian Robinson to me is the easy yes.
Yeah, I'm going with Robinson too.
He is a stud. He is an elite recruiter. He has stolen so many cats from Auburn in the past.
Yes.
I'll never forget Scooby Williams, telling me on the phone, hey, I just committed to Gus Malzahn, and 10 minutes later he called me back saying, hold on, C-Rob's here. Dude, what are you talking about?
That is the equivalent of if you can't beat them, join them, right?
Yeah, if you
Bring
can't
that
beat
guy.
them, get
Bring
them
him
to
in.
join you. So I think that was a huge hire. I'm really curious to see how Auburn's linebacker class turns out because of C-Rob, Jaden Osbury. I think he's going to be able to get him. Some Jordan Hall, Grayson Pup Howard. There's a lot of studs he's after. I mean, he's not settling for, Cuz down here at Beauregard.
No.
Second team all conference down here, all region down here at Beauregard. And that's a fictional character, by the way. I have no hate on Beauregard. But yeah, Chad, I would say, and I think we both agree, the biggest overall impact in recruiting, made the biggest impression, is Christian Robinson.
I'll say this though, Ike Hilliard we don't hear a whole lot about what he's doing right now. That might be by design, because I'm not really shocked when these kids put out the school cuts, but I was shocked today when DeQuavius Story had Auburn in his. That's a 4-star receiver from Florida. I was like, I wonder how many other guys he's working quietly on, and him and Whitlow too, the assistant coach. I mean, there's a few targets we really don't quite know about yet.
Right. That's probably the biggest unknown on our personal board, is the wide receivers, right?
Yes.
Somebody say, give me the top 5 wide receivers. I go, Carmelo English, and let me go look at the offer list and
right.
see who's visited. But the NFL experience with Ike Hilliard will be huge. The more relationships he develops with these kids, Carmelo English, just to get to know. I remember Carmelo coming up after Ike was hired, just to kind of get to know each other, and he left that visit and was like, golly, dude, I mean, this guy's for real. And but I'm telling you, we'll mention it again, Jimmy Brumbaugh has been awesome. I'm telling you, Rock Bellantoni is one of the more personable guys. He's one of the few guys who walk by after a scrimmage and come over and say, hey, man, how y'all doing? Kind of introduce himself to you and sit there and not really talk, just general, exchanging pleasantries. And that, to me, that means a lot, man. And you can see him with recruits and how and what they've said to him. So I really feel like, Schmedding was here. He's an all ball kind of guy. Keyshaw is an all ball.
Which is perfect for a defensive coordinator if they're going to be recruiting, right?
Better for that. Right.
Yes, exactly. That's the big change.
So I think those guys have been huge upgrades across the board from a year ago as far as recruiting goes. Good question, Chad. Appreciate that, man.
Absolutely.
All right. 205, you're live.
How about you, 205? Sound like he calling from Mars.
Yeah.
or Birmingham, about the same damn thing.
Yeah.
All right. 205.
Hey, how are y'all?
Oh, you got it? Perfect.
Gotcha.
Hey, how are y'all?
Good,
man. Good.
Who we talking to?
Oh, this is James Butler. I was on the chat with y'all.
Yeah.
I go by Bo.
Bo.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You named after Nick.
War Eagle, y'all.
Nah, I'm messing with you, James.
War damn Eagle.
Well, hey, what you got, James?
Hey, I need to call me Bo, man.
I'm sorry, dude. Don't take me out back, man. All right, Bo, what's up,
I'm
big
not,
dog?
man. I'm not. The guys from Thompson,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tony Mitchell and
Mhm.
what's
Peter
the other one?
Woods.
Peter Woods, TJ Parker.
No,
No, he's
Oh,
not from Thompson. Sorry. Stanton Ramil was who you're talking
there
about.
you go. There you go.
there you go. What about them? Heard anything?
Yep.
Yeah, still feeling good from where we sit on Stanton Ramil as being, one of the offensive linemen in the class, we think. Still some other schools with him. He's still visiting all over the place, Michigan State, Kentucky. He's got a big list of schools and he wants to see them also. He's taking his time, but from what we understand, Auburn's made a great impression on him, and the need at offensive line is big there. And he's got family that's been around Auburn before, so I think probably in good shape with him. Tony Mitchell's an interesting one, right, Jeffrey?
Yeah.
He's kind of come back into the picture here lately.
Was there the same day Jaleel Hurley was here 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, and we said it a lot last year. Guys that committed, it was like it just seemed like there was this big wave of Auburn was not giving up on anybody. They were going to keep working every guy that they had a relationship with, no matter what. And it paid off for a lot of them. Some of them, you never heard about it, but they're going to continue with the same strategy this year. And guys like Tony Mitchell will come back into the picture. And, I'm not saying that Auburn's made enough ground to maybe land him, but they're getting closer. So,
yeah, I agree. I don't think. Okay, I think. Bo, here's how I see it. Peter Woods, not happening.
No, that one's out.
My opinion, dude. My opinion. He's not an Auburn guy. And when I say that, it's like I think Cole's mentioned this too. When you talk to a guy, whether he would be a fit or not.
Yeah,
and maybe he is, dude. Maybe he would be great. I think James Smith is complete opposite. I think James Smith is an Auburn type of guy. I think Quay Russo is an Auburn type of guy. Peter Woods, I don't see it. I don't feel it. I don't see that happening. Tony Mitchell, dude, I would put Auburn's chances at about 40% and climbing. So right now, I don't see him at Auburn. But man, he's just he's very hard to read. He doesn't say a lot. Hell, even after the visit that day, he didn't want to talk. We exchanged pleasantries, and just kind of shot the shit off the record. But he didn't want to go on record, so it's going to be a tough, read anyways. But I think Stanton Ramil, excuse me, Ramil. I think Auburn's. I would consider them a team to beat. I think he's coming back in June for an official visit, and I don't see Alabama making a big push for him. I don't know if it would matter. I think he really likes the depth chart after next season. I think he really likes Will Friend. I think he really likes Joe Bernardi. Another new guy that we probably don't mention enough, Joe Bernardi, is the assistant.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Fucking on fire, dude. These guys are killing it, man. I'm telling you, it is a complete 180 from a year ago in that pandemic, and
absolutely
these guys are coming out swinging. And we see it every day. They're at different schools. Carnell, Zach, Schmedding was at Madhouse. Mm-hmm. When was that? Today or yesterday?
That was yesterday.
So they're hitting them up, man. And these
Tiger
are guys.
Tiger takeover.
Mm-hmm. And so they're coming back home. It's getting to the end. I think we talked about that when they first started. They were going to hit Alabama, Georgia before the end of the eval period it comes. Real quick on hey.
Oh, my bad. We got 2
Bo
live.
Bo, appreciate you calling, dude. I appreciate it. Well, how about you, man?
I'm doing pretty well. Enjoying this humid weather down in. Yeah, well, not really. But
where are you?
I am in Flat Rock. It's a small town. I think it's an hour and a half from Fort Payne, Alabama.
Oh, okay. You up in the Ivor region?
Yep, I was born in Fort Payne.
Is that up in Randolph County, DeKalb County?
No, man.
Yeah, DeKalb County.
Yeah, DeKalb County, up northeast Alabama.
I know my counties, Jay Lee.
Oh yeah.
Well, Randolph, East Central. Right.
Yeah, you're right. I just threw another one at the wall.
Hey, what's your name?
Austin. Or on the corner is Dad of. One.
Dad of one?
Dad of one, yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Dad
you.
of one. Is that all you know
Mhm.
of?
Huh?
You have one. Is that all you know of?
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's how
Yeah.
I am. I
I
got.
hope so.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not
I am
I'm
too,
not
big
going to
dog.
shut down and stop somewhere. Right? I don't know.
Yeah, if you see a bald-headed
I just,
red,
I wasn't safe, but somehow there's only a one child in my presence.
okay. Oh man, Dad of one. What you got tonight, big dog? What you got? What you
Well,
curious about?
I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on how refreshing it is to see Auburn head after the other guys up front, especially the tackles and stuff like that.
Oh,
You talking about offensive tackles, right?
Yes, it's all in general on the up front, yeah, with the tackles, guards, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, look, man, when you got as big of a need as Auburn does right now, that is a huge, huge asset in recruiting, right? So they have the need. They got a lot of guys they've got to replace. They know that early playing time is a possibility, which is not a possibility on the offensive line at many schools. That's just the way it has worked out with the roster at Auburn. So you got a lot of guys that are interested in that, and then you get them on campus, you always got a shot at Auburn. So
Right.
they've done that with all of them. They've done that with all the big targets. So we'll see what happens. I think they'll have a pretty good O-line class though, which is crazy. They haven't had a. When was the last time we were able to say that, Jeffrey?
oh shit, man.
What, 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah, right.
At least. Hey, Dad, you're talking about.
Which is very pathetic, especially for
Yeah.
any team in the SEC. Well,
Yep.
Gus.
especially for Auburn. I mean, I think for fans it was really frustrating.
Yeah.
man.
See all the.
Yep.
I don't know.
Understandable.
It wasn't a good idea to have guys coming from junior college and go, yes, you are a day one starter and go.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no. I don't know.
But hey, Dad,
now-
let me.
Give us a chance to have a better open line. Just I want to get his speed guys in there and go. We'll get okay players and hopefully your speed and then your can outrun the defense and hope to pray that we get a couple of victories like he has over Saban somehow, some way. I don't know.
Well, I tell you what, this class, I'm excited about this offensive line group. We talked about Ramil. We talked about McElderry, McElderry, Bo Hughley. We talked about Connor Stroh coming in next week. Connor Lou from Georgia coming over in June. A lot. I'm telling you, we talked about Clay Whedon coming in June.
Yeah.
A lot of these. Braden Joyner already committed. Who is there's one more guy, but I mean, you think about Auburn gets half of those guys, and I really think they're in a really good position for every one of them.
Here's a few more.
Maybe who?
DJ Chester, Ian Jeffrard,
Kelton Smith from Carver and Columbus.
Let's see, Vyson Lang
up the road.
Yeah, Miles McVeigh could be another. Wilkin Formby.
Yep, coming in June.
Yeah, man, lots of options there. Plus, I mean, you can't rule out Auburn's probably going to go heavy in the transfer portal in the next cycle, trying to get some guys to come in and compete. I'm sure they'll try to do that too. So,
well, you'll have immediate starting spots often. That's not. I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day. Yeah, offensive line, you never want to turn down a guy who's experienced who could come in and be on the 2D. But, man, trying to get a transfer guy to come in when your whole entire offensive line is coming back is next to impossible.
Yeah, it is.
Especially for a guy with 1 or 2 years left. But now next year you're losing your entire front, your entire front, and you're going to be bringing all these high school kids. Well, you don't want them starting for you.
Yeah.
Although you're saying, hey, you can compete, because you can. The job's open. If you're the best guy on the team, then you're going to get that spot. But typically, you don't want a true freshman starting on the offensive line in the SEC West. Now you go out and you get some guys who's got 1 or 2 years of experience who want to start in the SEC and they want an opportunity to be an immediate impact guys. I think next year lines up perfectly for the transfer portal. That's the problem Auburn's having right now with the edge. Like we talked about earlier. How are you going to try to get a guy with 1 year to come in when you've got two starters coming still here, and you're trying to convince him otherwise.
Yeah,
but I think the offensive line over the next year, the signing class, the transfer portal. I think the 2023 offensive line, the depth chart is probably going to be the best Auburn has had in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And big ups to Will Friend and Joe Bernardi, both of those guys making huge impacts with these guys.
They definitely are.
And,
How do you feel about Friend as the on the field coach?
On the field coach, man.
Cole knows.
Yeah.
I've watched him pretty close.
I mean, after that, I really had a foggy thing over a Friend and also Bobo and all that. I just been having a fog after just hearing him and after all that he's been through with Tennessee. And
yeah,
I really think he's a great great on the field coach or what?
Yeah, I'll say that while maybe he didn't recruit like everybody wanted him to last year, I think he's definitely doing a better job right now as far as at least having options. As an on the field coach, though, man, he's the kind of coach that I like personally. He is very intense. He is he's very technical. I like the way that he works with the guys, and I like that he's real big on hands. Every time I've been around him, he's always getting on the guys in drills about how they use their hands, which we're talking about drills here. Some coaches just let it go, but he doesn't, and I like that. That's big to me because drills are everything. Hands are everything as offensive lineman. And really, man, I could see such a big improvement in the guys that are there currently who get a bad rap, really, in my opinion. They're not as bad as everybody says. That's coming from me. We may have different opinions on that. But man, they've gotten better. Their steps are better. Their hands are better. And I think they get opened up better holes and lanes for the running backs. So that could be better in 2022. We'll see.
Hey, Austin, I will say this before you go. I don't know it like Cole does. I can't watch that and look at their feet and their hands and all that shit. I can't do it, man. But I do. What I do is I talk to guys who know more about it than I do. I talk to current players right now, and I won't mention any names. But I cover their recruitment. And I see them outside. I'm talking to them, just kind of getting And I will tell you this: that they have been widely impressed with how much more they've learned from Will Friend and the way that they talk about this guy and the things that they've learned just in the year and a half that he's been here is it tells me all that I need to know about him and whether or not the players respect him, the players like him, the players learn from him, and absolutely he checks all those boxes.
Yep.
Good stuff though, Austin, man. We appreciate you calling in up there in Flat Rock.
All right, guys, I appreciate it. See y'all next week.
All right, man.
Yes,
Appreciate you.
Appreciate
you. That's good. That's good. Good offensive line stuff right there.
334, you're live. We appreciate you waiting.
Yeah, I'm here.
How about you?
Can you hear me?
Got you. Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess my question is kind of about is recruiting in Alabama. It seems like that we are heavy on the Atlanta area, but how many kids from the state of Alabama do you actually think that we're going to land this year?
Ooh. Hey, who is this? Where are you from?
I'm from Auburn.
Auburn, Alabama?
Right here in good old on the plains.
Me too, dude.
Hear you.
What you want me to call you?
I'm Tiger at 229 on the chat.
Okay. Yeah, man. Well, we've kind of covered a few of those state of Alabama guys. Some questions about the 5 stars like James Smith, Tony Mitchell, Jaleel Hurley, Quay Rusall. Quay Rusall is one that Auburn's got a shot with at edge because they have such a need, and he likes that a lot. He's been just about every chance he's gotten, he's visited to Auburn, so that's one to watch in Alabama. You got behind them.
Yeah, are you looking at the state rankings, Cole?
Yeah, I am.
All right, let me read that out real quick, Tiger. I'm reading from 1 to 20 on all 3 sites, and then James Smith, Tony Mitchell, Jaleel Hurley, Quay Rusall, Peter Woods, A.J. Harris, Chris Vizina, Kelby Collins, Keldrick Falk, T.J. Parker, Hunter Osborne, who said an official visit. Carmelo English, we've talked about him earlier. Wilkin Formby coming. Yancy Pierre is over there. Jeremiah Cobb, Sylvester Smith, Tennessee, Stanton Ramil, Avery Stewart, and Dakari Nelson, Dallas Jones. So, hey, I'll say Auburn's got a shot. I'd say Auburn's in the top 2 to 3 for James Smith, Tony Mitchell, Jaleel Hurley, Quay Russaw, Keldrick Falk, T.J. Parker, Hunter Osborne, Carmelo English, Wilkin Formby, Jeremiah Cobb, Stanton Ramil, Avery Stewart, and maybe Dakari Nelson if they want to. That's what, 13?
I've got 12. I just counted. I got 12 for me.
12 or 13.
Yeah.
I would say 12. I don't know where Auburn stands with Dakari Nelson. So yeah, 12 of the 20. So 60%. I think Auburn's
got
a very good shot of landing.
Behind them, there's also Raquez McElderry, Bison Lang.
Already got Braden Joyner.
Yeah, Braden Joyner is committed. So there's about
Kobe
Keenum. There's just a lot of guys there in the state that Auburn's really ramped it up with, and I just put out a story today. That Auburn was in Highland Home to see Keldrick Falk, 4-star edge. Auburn was in Montgomery to see James Smith and Quay Russaw, 2 5-stars. So yeah, man, they're really ramping that up, and I think they're going to get a few of those guys.
Good stuff, Tiger 229.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you.
Zach, you got anybody on hold?
No one right now.
You got a bunch of comments, Jeff.
Tyler Justice, you will be banned. I will.
Yeah, man. What's up?
And Shaker Jack, you ain't got no kids?
Shaker Jack,
dude. I thought for sure Shaker would call.
Man, you know what? I'm a Shaker Jack
my voice
fan.
ain't pretty enough. Oh, I am too. Let's Camden Brown contribute in the year 1. Dayton Wickstrom. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Breakout wide receiver.
So. I got a film room on him stating why he could play in year 1. If you want to check that out.
Mama do that. Nobody loves you like Mama do.
Like your mama do.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's good. That is good.
Go down there, Cole. You see anything?
Yeah, we talked about Carmelo English. I think that was the same guy that asked that question. Let's see.
UGA Go Dogs says, "Why is Auburn the Tigers?" And then everyone says War Eagle. Dude, you must be 12. But I'll
first of all, thank you for joining the show. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we do appreciate that. Auburn, the mascot is the Tigers. The battle cry is War Eagle. I mean, go ask Alabama why they don't say "Go Roll Tides."
Yeah.
So,
all right, let's see. T. Reed. Do we think Trevon Reed has a chance to land an on-the-field role?
Not anytime soon, no.
Yeah, I would agree. Doing a good job, though. Definitely in the state of Louisiana.
Dude, hell yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But he is a very – Asan Diop. There you go, Barner, 99. Appreciate you. Asani, Asan, I can't remember. Hell, you asking the wrong dude. But, yeah, Diop was from earlier in the show. Boycat Rob receiver, we did that. Anything new on Jeremiah Wright? Jake Todd wants to know, dude. That's really more for Justin. This is
yeah.
recruiting. I wouldn't even want to go there, Jake. I'm not knowledgeable. That's a good question for Hoke or either Jhead, and unfortunately we don't have anybody there. Barney Siegel says, if you became director of Auburn football recruiting, what would you do differently than our staff is doing now? Hey, I'm gonna say this. Last year, I might have had an answer. This year, I don't. I think they're doing a phenomenal job. I think Darren Usher, I think Stephen Rusick, all those guys are doing a phenomenal. Malcolm Askew, T. Reed, Bianca James, man, they're. I think they're doing a phenomenal job. I think they've set it up. I think they've had visits all spring long. They've done a great job of getting these kids on campus. They've done a great job of communication. Every time I talk to a kid, there's like like you talked about, Cole, like we didn't even know this guy was recruiting, but here he is. I talk to him all the time, Right. I can't remember who, I think it was Hunter the other day. It was, I talked to Brumball and I talked to Zach and I talked to Harson, and I talked to Rusick and I talked to Usher. I'm like, God dang, dude. I mean, they're all, dude, I'm telling you, they are after it. If Auburn has a shitty class this year, it will not be because of effort. It will not be because of lack of communication. It will not be because they're not on the road and really burning down the highway. What I've seen has been very impressive. Probably haven't seen this much, at least internal excitement on recruiting.
Agreed.
Maybe since 2010 when you had Trooper Looper and Jay Boulware and Tommy Thigpen, and that was a fun time. And I kind of get the same sense right now that they're just a making noise season away from being really, really good at recruiting. I mean, the results, the class, we talked about. I'm telling you that these guys have got Auburn in position that if they make some noise this fall, they're going to have a damn good class. They are.
Agreed.
So I wouldn't change anything.
I can take that question there, Jeffrey, from Isaac Nichols.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to go with Xavier Capers as the breakout receiver. I just like the way he looks. I think he's the most natural-looking guy. He's great at route running. Even as a freshman, I just thought he catches the ball with his hands. He gets upfield after he catches the ball. I don't know what's the holdup has been with him, but I think he's about to have a better season this year, and he's got to have a better season too for Auburn's receiving core. That is still, even with the addition of Worsham, still a little bit low.
See, 334, your love.
Hello, can you hear me?
How about you, man?
Yeah, 334.
Hey, yeah. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Go for it.
What do you want me to call you, and where are you from?
Yes, sir. This is Shacker Jack from Auburn.
Shacker Jack.
Oh,
you old son of a bitch.
Yes, sir.
Are you serious? Is it really, or somebody just bullshit?
Yeah, no, sir. This is him. This is Shacker Jack.
Okay, so it's Shacker Jack. Okay. Got you.
What's up, Shacker?
Yes, sir. I was just going to get y'all's thoughts and see if y'all thought Auburn's offense may run a little more tempo this year with Keesaw taking over. I know that's kind of his thing. I'll hang up and let y'all get to it. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Shacker. Hey, no, Shacker.
Shacker.
You're gonna have to learn how to spell Shacker. It ain't Shaker.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying, right? Shaker is Shaker.
Well, it started out as Shaker, but it transitioned later in life.
Oh, well.
It's kind of morphed.
All right, then. I'll call you Shacker.
All good, man.
Jacker.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
Shacker. Now, again, Cole, you take it. I'm a recruiting guy. This is a recruiting show. If you feel qualified, I mean, you are, but what you think? High tempo?
Well, look, I can actually tie this to recruiting because when I talked to Brock Glenn, the quarterback target from Memphis, Tennessee, he told me that one of the things they've talked to him about, Keesaw specifically, was how they are going to go more tempo this year and how he likes that because it fits his style. That's what he told me. So, yeah, I think they are going to go more tempo. I think they do both. And that's something Keesaw's done well is he's done both tempo and slowed it down and huddled. He does it all. So it's going to look similar to what Bobo did last year, but probably I'm saying more tempo, 60-40, probably 60% tempo, 40%. We're going to slow it down, huddle, that kind of thing.
More pro.
Yeah. And it is a pro style, but they'll do, they'll mix it up some.
Chuck, Sally's, I can't pronounce that shit, Chuck. Do you think schools like Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Auburn get left behind because of NIL? No. I don't think Kiffin will let Ole Miss get left behind. Auburn is probably the most concerning of that list. They just can't get out. They just can't get out from behind each other. I mean, and I don't know the details, so I'm not going to go into it. I think there's been some leadership problems with the NIL in Auburn, but I don't think it's too bad. I mean, it can't be that bad if Bruce Pearl's, at least for basketball. But I do think there are some concerns with the Auburn NIL collective. And so of that list, I'm not sure about MSU. I just have confidence enough in Lane Kiffin that he wouldn't let that happen at Ole Miss. And Ole Miss got money. Ole Miss got lawyer money.
Yeah,
right?
They do. Yeah.
So that I wouldn't think Ole Miss would be that. Mississippi State and Auburn, university-wise, are pretty similar, agricultural school. So I could see that. But I think that's a definite possibility. I'd take Ole Miss off that list, but little less I know about Mississippi State, I could see that happening as well.
Yeah. I can't help you with baseball there.
Yeah, I don't have to. I saw Justin write something to this morning, said that basically if they do what they're supposed to do the rest of the year, they'll host a regional. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I take Justin for what it's worth. Just my memory or
I think they're in a good spot. They're in a good spot right now, from what I can tell.
I think they won 1 of 3 at Tennessee, 1 of 3 versus Arkansas. Both of those are top 4 teams. So I think Butch said they can beat anybody. They got the talent.
Yeah.
Problem is, can you beat anybody in a best of 3 or best of 5?
Yep.
We'll see. How much is NIL affecting recruiting in football? From Patrick Perry.
I think it affects the transfer portal more than
me too.
High school recruiting. Personally,
I think the NIL will become a bigger issue the closer you get to signing day. I don't think anybody. And now some of these bigger schools. I mean, you look at some of these who have more public NILs. You see the stories of USC and Miami and A&M.
Yeah.
So absolutely, it's affecting recruiting in football. Absolutely, and I think it's the ones who've got their ducks in a row, so to speak, when it comes to their collective, are going to benefit now, and they benefited in earlier. But I don't think it's going to be an end all be all when it comes to whether or not you can sign an elite class. I don't right now. I might change my mind in a month, but right now, I'm not ready to use that as an excuse for not having a great class. Not right now. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
What's the mood on Bo Hughley? Jake Todd coming in strong. Bo Hughley. Cole, what you got? Langston Hughes, big dog.
Yeah, at one time I thought it was probably leaning more towards Auburn than it was Georgia, and he was committed to Georgia at that time. Still, I think he's more firmly committed to Georgia now, but having Terrence Love committed to Auburn is huge for Auburn. Look, this was a lot like Jaleel Hurley. I think it's going to go on for a while, regardless of what happens with his commitment status. So Auburn's got the biggest need, obviously. They got the need over Georgia. That could win out in the end, especially if Auburn snags another teammate like Josh Horton, who we talked about earlier. Yeah, so I think a few things still need to play out there, but Auburn in good shape to flip him eventually.
He's another one that if Auburn gets Jelani Thurman, if Auburn gets Joshua Horton, they're going to get Bo Hughley, in my opinion. Ontario Munford, difference in approach to recruiting this year versus last year. Talked a little bit about it earlier, but man, it's been a complete 180. They've added so many more support personnel. They've been so much more active on the phones and in texting. They've been so much more active in getting kids on campus and then putting them through great tours and great visits. The attention's there. I feel like there's a lot more personnel, and man, it's just a lot more excitement around the program. I really feel like the recruiting department has this, and I feel like last year. I don't want to dog too much last year because they're in a pandemic and the kids couldn't visit until June. No, what's this year? That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
The kids couldn't visit until June. You had a first-year coach from Boise, Idaho that nobody had ever heard of.
Right.
And so, I mean, they were behind the 8 ball a lot last year. So I'm not shitting on them too bad. I'm just saying that this year it's been night and day, son. I mean, it is. It has been a lot of fun to see, a lot of fun to cover. I think it's been a 180, and you can tell.
Yeah.
Alan Crooks says, any concern that Auburn cannot win in-state recruiting battles? Nope.
No, not anymore. No. At one time, maybe, and I wasn't even sold then because when it seemed like a lot of people were freaking out, man, you still had over a year to go until the signing day, so we gotta chill a little bit on that. But they've definitely turned around, and still, we still got 8 months until signing day too. So a lot can happen, man. And I like we said, 12, 13 of the top 20 in the state of Alabama, Auburn's got a really, really good shot with. Yeah, I think they're going to be okay.
I feel like the biggest thing in state is what I just talked about. The Last year they were really on this 2023 class because this in-state class was going to be huge. We were covering 2022 guys at the time, but these 2023 kids were coming in. Right now, last June, Auburn's been building relationships with these 2023 kids, and I really feel like the relationships keep these guys in it till the end, and they're going to win some. They're going to win some of these in-state battles. Steve Kerr had a hell of a jump shot. Played with Steve Kerr. If you only pick one, Cole, would you rather dominate in Alabama or dominate in Georgia? I'm gonna say Georgia.
Yep, Georgia, 100%.
Per capita, it's the best, most talented state in the country, according to the NFL experts.
It is. Did they just send more than California and Texas in the draft?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
Good question, though, Steve. Made me think a little bit.
Very good.
Shacker. Do you think we can expect Shacker? Dude, this is recruiting, man. I love you, Shacker. How do you feel about the running back from San Diego? Love him. I love his recruitment. I haven't watched his film, Cole. You're a film guy. I'm more of a recruiting guy. What do you think about him?
Well, 6'1", 225 pounds as a running back in high school. Need I say more?
You know what I'm saying?
And from California, dude, they got plenty of prospects. If you're jumping to the top of their state rankings, and he's top 10 or 15, whatever, yeah, you're a good player. So he's somebody that Auburn would absolutely love to have, and they're working on him. They got a real shot.
Hey,
back
Zach,
in the top 6.
Zach, we got about 10 minutes, about 8 minutes left. Let's hit some lightning round right here. These last 10 minutes, go real quick answers. You think 23 recruitment will be even better for us?
Yes,
absolutely.
100%.
Thank you, Brandon. Blake says, this has been a pretty fun show. I need to join the site. Jhead Lee is the GOAT, and Cole is becoming the legend in my book. Don't leave out Jhead. Blake Robinson. I'll Venmo you that 20, I promise you.
My man. Yeah.
Thank you. How about the O-line recruits from Thompson and Northport? We talked about Stanton Ramil. Ramil. Love him. Think Auburn's the team to beat for him. Cole, what do you think about Northport? That's Welcome Formby, if I'm not mistaken.
Formby, yeah. I think Auburn's top 3 with Ole Miss and Alabama. I think if Alabama pushes, they probably got him. Auburn's still in the picture, though. We'll see how that one goes.
Dusty says, how are we looking with offensive linemen out of Arizona State? Oh, that's a good
yeah. Crazy.
Great J. Oh, shit. That's a great Jhead question, but crazy guy. I'm gonna put that on my Dusty. I want you to listen to the Shrivel Pod tomorrow afternoon because I'm gonna have ASU guy info.
Okay, awesome.
I'm gonna have an ASU info. What about Shadavian Bradley? Yep, absolutely. As a matter of fact, when I look back at my edge targets, there he was. I expect him to visit.
Yep.
Barner, we got that. Bay Fall and his buddy Hassan. They're going to visit in June. That's a basketball 5-star for 2023 class for you guys listening.
It's a great name.
That is it on comments right now.
All right, man. Excellent, man. Well, I don't really want to answer all the questions because then they won't come back next week.
Yeah,
but that's our job, man. And we don't have to stretch this out. I love this, Cole. What about you?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, man. This is great.
I loved it, man. I love the interaction. I love to just get out as much information as we can. It's so much easier, even though we're both writers, it's so much easier to just spit it out, and get it out.
Yeah, I'm better at this, I think, man. I'm still learning the writing stuff a little bit, but hey, anytime we can just roll like this, I love it, dude.
It's been a great, Zach. We appreciate you, man. This is a first that I'm aware of, an Auburn recruiting call-in show. Man, we love the callers that call in. And Shacker, Tiger 229, AU Dad of one, Bo Butler from Flat Rock, or was that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And Brooks, he was our first call, man.
Yeah, Brooks.
Go War Eagle, AJ, you buddy, and then how about Chad E?
Yep.
We had great calls. We had some great questions. Tyler Justice, you are on my doo-doo list. But you can make it up to me. But I want everybody, if you haven't already, if you're not a member of Auburn Live on 3, you should be, really should, man. We're doing this every day, all day long. If you're not seeing stuff, it's because we're probably working on stuff, and that's what I was doing today. Got a lot of good stuff on the progress toward degree rule that is affecting Auburn, the transfer portal. I want y'all to listen to the Shrivel Pod tomorrow afternoon. We'll put it out on the website and also on YouTube.
And Jhead will join us there.
Jhead will be here tomorrow on the podcast. And he's loaded with intel, man, and insight. Really good guy to listen to and have on the show. We're going to do this show again every Tuesday night for the foreseeable future. Tuesday night at 6:30 till 8. And we'll do the Shrivel Pod on Thursdays. But man, we really appreciate everybody joining us. We really appreciate the questions, the how about yous. And like I said, we'll get us tomorrow on the Shrivel Pod. We'll go into even more stuff. Look back through the comments for some topics for the show. But for Cole, man, for Zach McKinnell, we appreciate you, Zach. Great job, dude. We'll see y'all next week. See you tomorrow if you'll come join us. For Cole.